Alrighty. Yay! I hit record. We're recording. Yay! Hi everybody. This is May, and I wanted to. I was actually connecting with Natalie. I know her from the weekend with Mama Gina, the introduction weekend for the School of Womenly Arts in New York, and we connected quite well straight away. And I find it's like you went into the program, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
doing the master right now.
Yes. And partially because of that, I so love to connect with Natalie because she has so many beautiful insights, and you're living it right now. And every time we connect, it's so
I
freaking
have
juicy.
to.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Well, you don't have to, but like you choose, like clearly you choose to, and I really love that. Yeah. And there
Sure.
was a really interesting subject coming up, and it's one of my favorites because it's so freaking subtle, and it's not really, I feel like a lot of times it's not really common to think this way.
Mm.
There is, amongst women, I feel like there's a lot of, um, this is considering our men. We were talking about our relationship, and maybe you can just like share a little bit of who you are and what you want to share about this, and then we'll hit it off. Yes, yes, yes. Let's do it.
Okay. Yeah, so I've been married for almost 4 or 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And to an incredible guy, but we are way worlds apart, like crazy apart. He's an artist. He does acting and screenwriting and music, and I'm an engineer. I'm working in the mining industry, very much more in my masculine, and he's more in the feminine, designing, artistic world. So we've been together for 9 years, and I have probably from the beginning, I mean, it's just such two different beings coming together and trying to make this world. And I've been actually complaining since the beginning that there's no freaking guidebook on this. Can somebody just teach me how the fuck must I do this? Like, I have no idea. I don't know how to handle this guy. I'm blindsided by my own weaknesses or my own whatever drawbacks. I don't see it for what it is. And he's the guy being the nearest to me. I love him with all my heart. I mean, we are on a soul level connected. We are incredible partners, and we stayed together for some time in a studio apartment, like 6 months, just the two of us in this little, with our 2 dogs. And we didn't kill each other. I didn't even try to kill him, which is good. And we just made it work. And that just goes to show, like, we're really good partners when it comes to life in general. But the things that we struggle with, it's a never-ending battle to actually to accept this guy for who he is and not for who I wanted him to be. I wanted him, this man, this hero on the white horse.
Yeah, and that is one of those things that I felt like when you said that, it was like, it almost hit me. It was like, right, I have as well, from the beginning, when I met my man, my first thing I said to him, like, I could feel him flirting with him, and I said, like, I'm very flattered, but it's a no for me because I'm not ready, I don't want this. And so eventually we flowed actually into a relationship. And out of that, partially because I kept on feeling that no that said, like, no, I don't want him. So every time something little happened, I had made my decision already for, like, I'm in this relationship. I did it. Like, I was in the relationship, and still I keep saying, and there was a part of me that kept saying no. And just out of that, trying to fix him, trying to and I recognize so much that feeling of, oh, see, he's doing this. Oh, no, that's never good. That's never going to work. Or see, he's doing that. Oh, and I'm quite conscious about it. And still, when you named it, it was like, right. Especially as I start to feel more and more into that like beautiful balance when I start to feel something like this. Um, and I am kind of telling him like, oh, you're not taking care of me. Then I am not taking care of me.
Yeah.
And as soon as I am starting to take care of me, he starts to do that too. Because he feels that the space is there, and then like everything flows again, and everything is like soft and opening. And I love him to pieces. He's one of the most beautiful men I've ever met. But so funny, right?
Yeah, that's beautiful. I actually, what triggered me was when I started this mastery course, obviously, and there's a lot more focus on me. Remember when the woman told me at that experience weekend, make the mastery about you and not about your marriage, which was very good advice, very wise advice. So when I start focusing on who I am and what I want and how I want things, and take my eyes away from how my husband is doing it and how he wants it and how we are doing it, suddenly it opens up for me that I actually get what I want if I communicate it better and more clearly. And he is the always willing provider, being a man. He wants to make me happy. And in the same breath, he gets just as angry or irritated when I'm not in a good space. And I can see it reflecting all the time. When I have just this, we sometimes think men are not really, that connected spiritually. That's bullshit. They pick up our energy like this. Like I can just have maybe a pull in the face, like, and he was kind of, what's on? And he reflected immediately to me.
Yes.
So it's quite a learning curve for me to focus on how I'm reacting to things. And the things that he triggers with me, obviously, he's close to me, he lives in my space, he knows me in and out. So it's easily for him to trigger me. And I fall for it all the time because that's the areas in my life that I need to attend to and that I need to give attention to so I can actually grow and move forward. So.
Yay. Hey, yes. And in that way, you two like become such a beautiful dance, right? We become how do you say that? A dance together in the sense of
a tango.
A tango, yeah, it becomes a tango, but also in the sense of instead of like me saying you don't take care of me, and he's like and then it's like
Pointing
this.
fingers. Yeah.
Exactly. And when I say, oh, wait a second, I really need to take care of me here.
Yeah.
And I start to do that, I start to flower more, I start to like open up more, and he starts to do that too. And then it's like a different dance. It's like a different energy, and then you empower each other.
Yes.
And that's what I love so much. Yeah. To see it that way. Yeah. So beautiful. Yeah, and that's yeah. And that is one of the things that I was naming just before we started to record. Like I have experienced so much from a lot of women in my life. The attitude of, oh, if he is that way, you should not like you should not take it. And there's a harshness in there. It's like almost an attack. Like I don't care. And out of that space, for me it was always like, huh? Really? Is that really what I should do? Okay.
Yeah.
I am angry at you. but actually it was not what I really longed to do, because my deepest core wants to connect, wants to be open, wants to flourish, wants to expand. Yeah.
And it's easy to disguise our weakness or our longing for this in anger and in being independent and standing up and say, this is not going to work for me. I mean, there's a point in life where you realize, okay, well, this is really not working for me, but it shouldn't be in anger. And I always felt that should we get to a point where we have to, move away, like divorce or whatever the case might be, it wouldn't be in either anger or grief. It would be in honor and respect for each other. That's the difference. So before we get to that point, I know there's stuff that we have to work on. And I'm going to find what it is that I have to work on. So even if I can only grow and nourish myself, and he doesn't necessarily move with me, which is also fine, he's got the full right to decide how fast he wants to move and grow spiritually. even if I can only do it from my side, and I know that I've done the right thing and I'm working on myself and I've win or conquer all these challenges, and we got to the point where we will now, make that decision, then it still will be, at least from my side, be an honor and respect. And that's what I want. So, but before that, just throwing it out because he's not this and he's not that, it's like, I don't even know myself. I don't even know what I want from life, but I'm pointing fingers all the time to him. He's not buying me flowers. He's not saying this. He's not being the man. He's not providing. He's not. It's like, but I'm not even doing it for myself. So how can I expect him to do it for me?
Right.
Crazy. Right. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And I so love the in this for a long time I thought like so I am doing something wrong. Now I should be doing this, like, so I turned like the attack, instead of to him, I started to attack myself. And that's also not like, that's also not what you want. Like,
exactly.
How can we carry each other and the partner in all of this? And it's
Yes.
And that's what I just like before we recorded. I'm so I wish we had recorded that. But when you were sharing this, I just felt so open, so enthusiastic about this, because I love to hear this in women when they share this. And I said like, I want to kiss you, like. And I want to name the bravery in there, because it kind of feels like, or it kind of goes almost against the normalities or what we thought. But it is so beautiful to ask yourself and and I'm so grateful for you doing this. It's amazing. I so love it. Yeah.
Going through the process, no, it's amazing. And you know what's so funny? I've been reading this book, The Queen's Code, and it's all about we as women being frog farmers. Have you heard of it?
I think I have, maybe. Yeah. I haven't read it though.
All men are born as princes. They want to provide, they want to lead, they want to help, they are our heroes. But then they get into a woman's life and we turn them into a frog, because we just don't know how the hell to handle this guy. And we're so uneducated, we are. And the basic of it is that men is made to provide. They give you like a hero language. But my point, what I wanted to say is that men knows more about partnership than we do. Like, men inherently seek partnership. You know how the boys go, like they've got like their own thing going. They're so cool with each other, They know what it takes to be a good partner. We as women don't. We struggle with the concept of partnership. We don't want to compromise. Yeah, it's a whole different way. And I'm like,
that's like a bit hard on my sister when I hear that. Like, oh, really?
Yeah. Funny. It is. I thought actually that we know what it is to be in a community. Like, we're community orientated, but it doesn't say that we're partners. Like, we know how to work together, which is a whole different thing than actually just being that buddy, old pal. I'm here for you. I'll always be here for you. That's what a man wants to be for us. That's amazing.
I get that one. Yeah.
Yeah. And the other thing that also opened my eyes is,
my goodness,
we as women are collaborators and we taskers. So we know how to get shit done. Like, you give me a list and I freaking do it. All right. And when men are more, how do they call it, single focused type of, human beings. So they do one thing at a time and then move on to the next thing. We do 5 things at the same time. And it's inherently, it makes us, our beings, or how we put together is different. So if my husband walks over his towel that he just dropped on the floor, it's not because he sees it and doesn't want to pick it up because he's lazy. But I take it as if he did see it and he's too freaking lazy to pick it up. So I say I'm saying that he's a lazy woman. That's what I'm saying. Which is so far from the truth. So the way that we are made up is so different from each other. And that started for me, the light went on. I'm like, how can I expect this guy to be like me? I am. I am expecting him to be a woman, but be a man while being the woman. Like, how? This is not fair. And that's part of my whole journey of understanding the psyche of a man versus a woman, and a masculine versus a feminine energy. Because we also play a role with those roles, right? So you are you're masculine, you're driven, you're purposeful, you lead, and you know, or you're in your feminine, you receive, you go into your body, you feel your way through things. And those roles we you know, bounce around all the time. And being in the mining industry, working with men all the time, majority, like 90% of my people around me is men. So I have to accept, I try to fit in, you know, which is also horrible. I lose my femininity through that. And then I bring that home, and I'm still this goal-orientated, list, purposeful type of woman for my man. And he's like, what? I'm like, oh, I'm not getting this right. I need you to be stronger. You know, there's pointing fingers. I need you to be stronger. You're in my place because I'm such a strong woman. So, no, that's the marriage is a relationship.
Right.
It's a balance of those energies. And you decide, and you have to live with the consequences in which energy you're going to move, which is, I mean, do you have any training on that? Because I've got zero training on it. No idea.
No, we only had the examples of our parents, right? And if I look at my parents, they divorced when I was about 5, I think. So not really what the example that I want to have.
No, interesting. Yes. It's crazy.
Oh, thank you so much. I love this conversation. Have you seen any results? Do you see differences since you became more aware of this?
Yeah, so we've probably down this road for 3 months now. I think what it does, I've seen results on my side. Let me put it this way. So I've been much more calmer when I go into dialogue with my husband about sensitive topics, and I can gauge that this is not going where I want it to go. And I've also asked for some space, which he, like, you know, no problem to give it to me, but he needs to the reaffirmation that we are still in a relationship. Like, even if he gives me space, he needs that confirmation. I'm still here for you, you know, and I'm not thinking of breaking away, and I'm not looking for somebody else. So I guess, and apart from us being in this relationship-wise, in this hole, if I can put it that way, and trying to dig ourselves out of here, career-wise, we're also making a lot of changes. So it's as if a lot of things just come together and just fucks us up. Like, a lot of things is now in our life, big changes, big things that we need to just swim or drown, kind of thing. So there's definitely better signs, and I think we are much more deeper connected because I'm actually talking to him about this process, for him trying to understand where I am and not just keeping it for myself. Because remember, this is all about myself. So it's so easy just for me to say, like, you know, I'm on a journey. And it's not. He's still part of my life, and he deserves to know exactly what I'm going through. So we're still growing.
Nice. Beautiful. Yay. Yes, I'm so curious how it will, like, where you are at, like, in a couple of months. And I know about some of your big changes. So yes, very curious. Thank you so much for sharing this. Yes, thank you.
It's good to talk about this stuff. Good to share it also, especially with a woman.
Yes,
it is so. Woman.
It is so important. Yes.
Yeah. No.
All right. Thank you.
Pleasure.
Yay.